okay, right? This is a different thing. It's whole body twist, right? Like you're in big trouble. Maybe we are wrong. Oh, right? And we. How does that feel? So we're going to talk about spear use. Why spear is called the king of weapons in China. Okay. Well, obviously it's got a great reach, right? You would think that with great reach you would lose a lot of leverage, but all the gong li, all the power training, internal power training in Chinese martial arts helps you turn that into your advantage. So we come here, we're fighting. Go ahead. At this range, he has a long ways to go before he could get to me. So it's basically impossible for him to get close enough to cut me. Go ahead, come. Without us touching at some point, right? We're gonna touch weapon at some point. So for safety, just come in and touch weapons with me. So you're trying to brush my sword aside and my spear aside like this. As soon as we touch weapons, then like that. What does that feel like?
It's just like mini tornado sending
like a
me
mini tornado, right?
off my
so
center.
Hold your sword up. It's not like this.
Right.
Okay? Like that's okay, right? This is a different thing. It's whole body twist, right? Like that. So as soon as we cross weapon, you come and attack me, we're fighting. Dead, right? It would be very tricky for you to try and cross this distance without us touching weapon at some point. Like that. So that's one of the reasons why spear is very difficult to deal with. You're going to have to deal with this shaft, and when you do, you're going to lose your advantage a lot. The second thing is on your defensive end. How do you defend against this? You want to block this, right? The problem is, go. See? So come closer, come over here. So it's very hard to block it. So if you make the right contact, yes, like that, you'll be able to block it. But here's what happens. Dead. So come again. See?
Ooh. Nice.
And it's very hard to see. So if you watch when I thrust to his body, to his legs, to his head, how much movement is there in my arms? Hardly any. So how hard is it for him to see whether it's coming to his face or to his legs? Really hard, isn't it?
Difficult.
So, and you really have to figure that out, because you got to block it just right in order to block it at all, right? So if you read that wrong at all, then you're in big trouble. Maybe we are wrong at all, right? And how does that feel?
It's like the sticking power with the
the sticking power of the weapon. So if it breaks and you try to slide in, come in to cut my fingers and stuff like that. So you might want to do that kind of thing, but when that happens, then the sticking power will get to you. And so between the spiraling, silk reeling force, between the difficulty of reading up and down, and for safety, we're not doing that fast, but spear thrust is actually a very quick thing. It's just super hard for you to overcome that deficit if you're using a shorter weapon and don't have like a full body shield type of thing. Any thoughts or any questions?
So theoretically, how would I defend against this having a chance against a longer range weapon using a sword? Okay,
using a sword, and suppose you don't have a good shield. So, you have to be able to read whether it's coming here, and you have to be able to parry me using your jin and your internal force in a way that doesn't allow me to spiral the force and knock the weapon out of line, out of your hand. And you have to be able to be quick on your foot to pick up your leg. A lot of Kung Fu forms, you're like you have these kind of hopping kind of things. That's all kind of a legacy of being paranoid about being stabbed on your foot by a spear in the battlefield. So there's a lot of technique where you're holding your sword, right? And you go like this, like that. There's a lot of leg lifting because you're avoiding the low thrust. So you have to be really good about lifting your leg. Just like if you're fighting Muay Thai and you got to keep checking against the Thai kicks, right? You got to be ready to lift your leg to avoid that spear and close in the distance, slide along the weapon, and so forth. But yeah, it's disadvantageous. So spear is the battlefield weapon in China for a good reason. Pretty much the most effective. But then, I think personally, I think swords are more fun. I like to train the sword to all the different techniques. It's more of a dance. There's more to explore with it, but there's a simple minimalist efficiency to the spear use that is undeniable. Okay, any other thoughts or questions?
No, not this time. Thank you.
Thank you for helping me demonstrate. Thanks for watching.